Mic check. We out here. Yeah, I don't know why, but I kind of dig that royalty free jam, you know? I don't know. It just hits different. Just hits different than other royalty free music. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Anyway, happy Friday, February 21st, 2020. Okay, we had to stop that real quick. We almost got in trouble. Happy Friday, February 21st, 2020. Man, feels like you ever start a school week like halfway through Wednesday, Thursday, and then the week's over? Man, that's what it feels like right now. It's already Friday. It feels like it's Tuesday, bro. But that long break will do it, man. How about last night's NBA slate? Very high scoring return to action. So many 50 bombs. Matter of fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys scored 50 DraftKings points or greater, and 5 of those guys scored over 60. So it was a pretty high scoring night. I built my night around Miami Heat players. Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and then of course I tier 1 to Joel Embiid, who had almost 70 fantasy points. So my own core had like such a high floor that it was hard to not be a high scoring night. And then if you sprinkled in a couple duds, you might have still been able to do okay. Cash line everywhere was pretty freaking high, but there's really no way to get around it. Surprise names up here. Probably Thaddeus Young. We know bigs against the Hornets like to feast and beast. Thaddeus Young, 5,400, got you almost 10x value. Chris Middleton at 8.3K against the Detroit Pistons. Maybe got more minutes than a lot of people expected from the Bucks, considering the score of that game. Heck, Giannis Antetokounmpo still got 32 minutes. At about the 22-minute mark, he had almost he had like 42 fantasy points at half. So kind of some surprising minute numbers from the Bucks. Butler did his thing, 7,900 against the Hawks is just way too cheap. Russell Westbrook got ejected with 6 minutes left in the game. Ended up with 44 fantasy points on 30 minutes. Would he have stayed in much longer? Maybe, maybe not. Karis LeVert under 7K, easy play there. Dinwiddie 40, easy play there. The Anthony Melton, kind of surprise play there. Bruce Brown, easy play there. Much easier on FanDuel, where he was like 3K. But for the most part, you guys can see why. The slate last night, rather high scoring, but it be like that sometimes. Tonight, we have a lot of games to chop up, and will probably be another high scoring slate with a lot of people's eyeballs glued to the final game. We love the late night hammer game and the Pelicans and the Blazers. As we know, Damian Lillard already out for this one. We also know a couple other cats like Kemba Walker out. Has Fantasy Labs put out their 3 p.m. tweet yet? They have. All right, so Anthony Davis probable. TJ Warren questionable. Will Barton questionable. DeAndre Ayton probable. Aaron Baines, Dario Saric probable. Thomas Bryant questionable. Jan Mahimi questionable. So no really big names there with a Q tag next to him. I think we have most of the information for the big dogs, for the big boys. We are streaming live on Twitch and on YouTube a little bit earlier today, so I don't expect the live crowd to be as big as it usually is, but it'll grow as we get closer to the 4 p.m. Eastern hour. If you guys were watching on YouTube yesterday, we went dark a little over halfway into the stream. Turned out to be a YouTube thing. It was a widespread issue. So many complaints from live streamers that they got, that the streams went down. So I'm glad that it wasn't my fault. But if that ever happens again in the future, these streams are multi-stream. We are streaming as well on Twitch. You can find the description to the Twitch channel in the find the link to the Twitch channel in the description below. Twitch.tv/Gundacker99. And then of course, if you're into video games, I stream video games pretty often from that account. So check that out. Hey, we are streaming on both channels. So if you're in either channel, you can interact with the stream using the chat. I see the YouTube chat. It's a little bit more popular right now than the Twitch chat. Shout out to Slow Money, Remy, Peter Doba, Stu. What a big league, Stu. Van Jones says, happy Friday. I need to recover from failure last night. Man, if you guys were one of the many cats sending me screenshots of you having like 330 points and not cashing, it just be like that sometimes. I wouldn't overthink it, man. Sometimes you do well and you don't cash, and it's just a high-scoring slate. So if you put up 330 plus or something like that last night, you don't have to blow up the process and start over unless you had a bunch of guys that really, really sucked. Peter Dobich says, I can't wait for baseball. Thank you, Embiid, Bam, and Thad Young. Yeah, baseball right around the corner. We got spring training, today, right? Tomorrow. And the regular season next month. That'll be a lot of fun. You guys know how we throw down for baseball. Hopefully, on this channel, on the YouTube channel, I'll probably have an in-depth tutorial on how to use my spreadsheet for baseball. And I think most people that have been with me a couple years can agree that my baseball spreadsheet is an extremely powerful tool. We'll say that. I don't want to get too egotistic too early, right? But it's an extremely powerful tool to kind of simplify baseball, learn how to approach baseball, and find players to target from a DFS standpoint, and hopefully have some success. What up, Kenny? Hunter, Gunn, I think this is a huge trap slate. Prior to last game, please take a quick review. Game log, Portland Trailblazers at New Orleans Pelicans, box score for one game. All right, we'll do that. What up, AO Rhino? What up, Earth to Air? Let's see. Is Raj? Yeah, Raj. Let's bring Raj in here. Yo,
Yo.
What's up, man? Taking a big sip of Black Cherry Vanilla Bang. Brought to you by... Oh, man. If I ever got a Bang sponsorship, bro, oh, my God.
Be living the life.
I would be.
Just have some chicken wings.
I have a match tomorrow, and I'm thinking about coming out to the ring drinking Bang, man. I don't know. Is that too much? It's probably too much.
Hey, it could go viral.
Yeah, okay.
Live stream
Why would that go viral? Right? That guy's drinking a Bang. Wait a minute. I drink Bang. He's like me.
The weirdest things go viral.
Yeah, that's true. What's up, man? How was Anoche? Pretty high scoring, huh?
I mean, hey, shout out Harrison Barnes coming through with the big. I told you, once every 10 days, the guy has a big game. He somehow came through. It was just a high scoring night, so didn't have a need to hide that ended up some winning lines, but it seems like all the chalk came through. So just one of those nights where you needed shoot on DraftKings like 380, 390 to take something down.
Yeah.
It's one of those nights. And today it seems like a bunch of mispriced guys, and should be a fun one.
Yeah, it should be another pretty raucous slate. Yeah, mispriced. Yesterday was, for me, building lineups. I thought the 5K area was really strong yesterday, but it turned out the 7 and 8K area was extremely strong with some of the games that we saw from Embiid, Harris, Adebayo. Well, we knew Adebayo was just too cheap, though. So
yeah, and I mean, Embiid, Adebayo was pretty chalk. Trae Young had that 70 bomb. I mean, 20% every day, you know?
I was really perplexed by the Bucks minutes because that game was over. I mean, over. Yeah. And then I had a nice heaping of Derrick Rose, who got like 20 minutes in the blowout. So
not what you want.
No, I mean he was close to being a point per minute, so it's not like the production was low, but he just didn't get that full 30. But yeah, looking ahead to tonight, we got a couple teams that we're still kind of getting used to. Remember, we had a pretty busy trade deadline, so we get to deal with the Cavs and their carousel of Love, Drummond, and Tristan Thompson. We've already seen Tristan Thompson have a massive game off the bench. We've got, I think we got the Timberwolves without Cat, right? Cat's out.
Yeah.
We got
the Portland guys.
Celtics without Kemba Walker. There's a couple of
Jazz team
spots.
that's I think literally every starter's in the price, which is weird.
Should be fun. Should be fun. If you guys are stumbling across this video on YouTube, what you see on the screen is rundfs.com. That's the place where we don't just play DFS. We run DFS. If you guys are looking to grow as a DFS player, I definitely encourage you guys to plant yourself, seed yourself, sow your DFS seed. If I can steal from religion, and grow in a community. I'm telling you, man, you cannot. You really can't prosper being alone in DFS anymore, man. You got to have a team, and not necessarily a team feeding you the plays, but a team with the ear on the ground, listening to ins and outs. This guy got scratched, so this beat writer said this, and then of course being able to bounce ideas off each other. So whether it's my community or not, I definitely encourage you guys to have some type of team that you guys are part of to attack DFS. But if you guys want to try my community, go to rundfs.com, make yourself an account, get signed up, try a week pass if you haven't already. That'll get you immediate access to the 24/7 premium Discord. Every day in that Discord, we have pre-lock voice chats, and that's an app that you can access on your desktop, your mobile devices, your phones, your tablets, whatever it is that you consumed my content or DFS on. You can more than likely use Discord on it. And then you guys can listen to us before lock. You can grab a mic, jump in there. And then, of course, you get access to all the spreadsheets for NBA, for baseball, which is coming up really, really soon. And then, of course, we have Smeezy running the NASCAR content. So that's the spreadsheet supported sports, but they're still out there grinding golf every day. They're talking a whole different language when they're talking golf, bro. Like, I recognize a couple of those names, and then they're just in it. They play soccer. They play all the good stuff. So, really fun community, 24/7 text channels. I encourage you guys to come test it out. Come try it out. We have a lot of basketball tonight. On DraftKings, they have 100K to first. Excellent eights. And on FanDuel, they have 200K to first and the $888 with less than 13.
They got one of those in, I think, DraftKings too.
Do they? I just click contest. When you talk longer for once. God dang. Every time you talk, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I just took a sip of Bang. I almost choked. Okay, I'm not going to finish that sentence. Anyway, chat, you guys ready to jump into the slate here? Let me open up the restream chat, see what you guys got for this one. What up, Ernesto? What up, Game Theory? Game number 1 tonight. Let's talk about it. Dallas Mavericks at the Orlando Magic. Project starting 5 for the Mavericks. Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, Kristaps Porzingis taking on Markelle Fultz, Evan Fournier, Wes Iwundu, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Vucevic. We got a 220.5 total and a 4-point spread in favor of the visiting Mavericks. Total seems a little bit elevated in my estimation. Magic, been pretty good home defense, good defense altogether, and the Mavericks with Luka and Porzingis on the court, or at least with Porzingis on the court, their defense hasn't been anything to shake a stick at either. So I am a little surprised that the total is in the 220s. I could see it going down, but we'll see. On the surface here, I don't know that I'm going to have immediate interest in this game, at least from the Mavericks side. Luka is pretty much the only guy I play from the Mavericks when he is active. I will say that I said that last time. When Luka came back before the All-Star break, I thought that was a play a couple minutes so you're good to go for the All-Star game. And then I was like, Luka back, I don't play Porzingis. Porzingis had a massive game, 58.75. When we pull up StatMuse, that hasn't been normal. So I think we need to decipher whether or not that's fool's gold or not. But in his last 10 games with Luka Doncic on the court, Kristaps Porzingis has scored over 40 fantasy points just twice. His very last one, and of course 10 games ago against the Miami Heat in the game that he played 40 minutes. So seems like more often than not, Porzingis is not somebody that I'm going to run to play with Luka Doncic. However, you can maybe make the case that those were games where Dwight Powell was in and Porzingis didn't have to, play center or whatnot. He did have 13 rebounds in that last game, a couple blocks, but it was really the 27 points that did him in. So I'm kind of on the fence here whether or not I want to keep chancing Porzingis. I think my gut's telling me just keep staying away until it's true that he can be consistent. AK play, I need that 40 plus, and I don't think it's a prime matchup either. So I think from the Mavericks side, it's Luka and nothing else for me. And on the Magic side, Vucevic is almost 9K. It's not a spot that I feel like I'm going to be overly aggressive with here. Markelle Fultz, Evan Fournier at 5,800, so maybe. I do like wing shooters against the Mavericks, but for the most part, I don't think this is a game I'm going to have much of, and I may not even, if I walked away with no Luka here, I don't even think I would feel too bad. I mean, just a peek at the next game, Cavs and Wizards. I feel like I'll have more cherry picking from that game. So I really feel like I might not have anything from this game. What about you?
I'm with you. 9-game slate here. I want to scratch one game off. This would be the game. I mean, Luka, obviously, stud of the night. Just not a love for him right now.
Is he the stud of the night?
I mean, he should be. I mean, hey, if he drops 70, no one's shocked.
I mean, sure.
You're not. I know it's Orlando. It's a good defense, but I'm probably gonna have 0 of him, but because I'm probably just gonna scratch out this game, and it's gonna be a slower game with Orlando. I'm a little worried.
He played 37 minutes against the Magic last game. 37 minutes. You tell me I'm getting 37 minutes of Luka, I'm in with just 43 fantasy points. So that's the tale of the tape. He did take 21 shots that game. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess technically he is the highest price player. So in that regard, he's the stud of the night. But LeBron James, $100 cheaper against Memphis, faster paced game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that. Again, this game's probably a scratch off. I'm just in love with this kind of high 6K, 7K range. Probably going to load up on those guys. So, yeah, not really anything. I'm loving this game. I guess you have Vucevic at 8-8. Again, not in love with it. There's a lot of other better center plays. I mean, he can give you 50, which is fine at 8-8. It's just I think you can get, better points per dollar somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm kind of – that's where I'm at. And I don't feel like I'm getting a bargain on Vucevic or Gordon – 7-3. I'm telling you,
it's been a bit of a tear. 52, 52, 52. 3 easy. Matchups: Milwaukee, Atlanta, Detroit. But he's been doing fine at that price. Get you 50, you're good. Markelle Fultz always has a random 40 bomb game. He dropped 49 last time against Detroit. Dallas defense, Detroit defense, both pretty bad. Played 40 minutes that game. I mean, if you want to take a shot at Markelle Fultz and 100K up top, sure. But again, I'm probably just scratching out this game.
Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of, if I look at previous guys at each position, there's not really just like a consistent whole. I know that
Gordon is 7-3. That's wild.
What do you mean? Like good way or bad way?
I just don't see how anyone could ever play him at that price tag. Unless you're playing like a Washington.
If it's a better match, exactly. No, I agree. Yeah. It's not really the spot. Here's a fun stat. Last 5 power forwards against the Orlando Magic. You ready for this? Christian Wood, 48.5 fantasy points, 39 minutes. Play a lot of minutes. John Collins, 37. 34 minutes. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 57. He's a freak. Julius Randle, 43 in 31 minutes. And Jason Tatum, 62 fantasy points in 39 minutes. So a lot of like.
I feel like all those guys have like above 25, maybe even 30% usage rates when they play them.
I'm just saying those are those.
No, I hear you.
Maybe Porzingis could sneak a play here if he's going to be a guy that gets 25 plus.
Porzingis at 8K, yeah, I'm a pass. I get it. I'm a pass though.
Just being devil's advocate there. Let's see what the chat has before we matriculate on to the next one. Peter Dobish says small forward versus Dallas, maybe Gordon. Yeah, maybe. But that price is just too rough for me. Ernesto, I can't get a fill in this Dallas-Orlando game. Maybe I play Vucevic game. Luka didn't have great games versus Orlando last week, if I remember. Yeah, I'm probably. I'm probably with y'all there. I pass on this game. I circle back if I have to, but I think I big slate. I don't need too many question marks in my player pool, and there's not a price point in that game other than Luka that I'm excited about, right? Like other than Luka, who could really blow their price point out the water and make me regret fading them. I guess if Porzingis dropped 50, that would be the answer. Cavs at the Wizards. Next game on the docket. Projected starting five for the Cavs: Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Jetty Osman, Kevin Love, and Andre the Giant Drummond taking on Ish Smith, Bradley Beal, Isak Bonga, Rui Hachimura, and Jan Mahinmi. We got 236 total here, a 6-point spread in favor of the Washington Wizards. So Bradley Beal at 9,400. A price I can get behind because I do like guards against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs are giving up the second most fantasy points per game on this slate to opposing point guards and the most fantasy points per game on this slate to opposing shooting guards. So great track record, great path paved in goal for Bradley Beal here. 9,400. I am seeking the north side of 50 fantasy points, and as more and more Wizards are active are healthy guys returning, like Rui Hachimura, like Davis Bertans, guys like that. There are a couple of guys that could, have great games themselves against the Cavs to maybe lower the ceiling of Bradley Beal. But if we're talking about individual potential upside, Bradley Beal definitely has 50, 60, sometimes 70-point potential in a matchup like this. I got him at about 35 minutes. So if you're gonna give me 35 minutes at a top matchup on the slate, I'm definitely gonna have a piece of Bradley Beal. Probably not in the tier 1 category yet. I'm thinking tier 2 is the soft landing spot for him. The rest of the Wizards seem like a carousel of good luck for me. I don't think I'm going to get there. I think there's like over 10 Wizards that I got maybe at double-digit minutes. So it's probably just Bradley Beal for me, unless we got somebody to be...
Thomas Bryant, Mahimi news will be crucial, I think.
Yeah. On the Cavs side, Love, Drummond, and Tristan Thompson. I said it the other night when Tristan Thompson had that big game, because I had a good chunk of Andre Drummond, right? Tristan Thompson came out and dropped 27 real points against the Atlanta Hawks in 26 minutes. I was like, man, I feel like this is going to be just a trifecta of frustration going forward. Even Larry Nance could be a troll in the mix. They have so many fantasy sports upside bigs and Love, Drummond, and Tristan Thompson and Larry Nance, that I would be frustrated going down the stretch. The very next game for the Cavs is the Washington Wizards, a matchup where Drummond this season has averaged 46 fantasy points in 3 games. We love bigs against the Wizards. You look at that team DVP chart in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. Wizards are allowing the second most fantasy points per game on this slate to opposing bigs. So I feel like this is going to be a frustrating spot to have high amounts of either of the three, Love, Drummond, TT. I do think TT was a little bit of a beneficiary of a potential blowout. But Love at 7,500 feels like at least the price isn't too crazy, right? When you play Drummond at 9K on this slate, you need 50 fantasy points. So maybe Kevin Love at 7,500 is kind of like the lesser of all evils and the lowest risk, highest reward, because the Wizards still kind of leak where Kevin Love is the strongest. They give up a lot of threes. Kevin Love can chuck threes. Maybe he gets into a like a 15-15 double-double or something like that. So what are you gonna do with the Cavs? The Cavs really seem frustrating.
So when you open a slate, you look for Wizards game, find the team who they're playing, and you play guys. But today, I'm just not falling in love with these guys. There's a ton of other spots I like with their prices. When it comes to Cleveland, their Tristan Thompson game, I think it helped because Drummond saw 22 minutes that game. Love was out. Do I think he sees the minutes in the same usage again? Probably not. Drummond at 9,100. I get it if 50's there. I'm just not getting there. Again, there's other guys, power forward, small forward spots, and these mid-tier centers that I'm in love with, where I feel like I need more Cleveland guys, but none of these guys are like even tier 2 plays for me. I'll probably have some of, Kevin Love or Drummond, but less than, I want to say less than 10%, maybe less than 5. Just not in love with it. Colin Sexton, is going to be out there for a minute, 6'3". I mean, he can get you a 40 bomb on DK.
You would have less than 10% Kevin Love? Is that what you just said?
Less 10% of Kevin Love, Drummond, any of these Cavs. I would have more than 10% of any Cav.
Let's see. Just
I mean, we'll get to gauge where I guess I'm more in love with plays. And the Washington side, I mean, point guards against Cleveland have been a thing all year. I think Ish Smith could be sneaky. 4-8. If he sees 30 minutes, we've literally seen every point guard go off again. Wouldn't be shocked to get you a 30 bomb. Bradley Beal, I mean, it's there, 94. Again, just not in love with it. 50-40, that's great. Just not somebody as a core play. So this game has pieces, but just not a game I'm running to.
I think the Cavs will be more fruitful, but it'll be a retrospect fruitful, like Drummond. Like if you had 60 tonight, right? We're not surprised, but yeah, it's hard to call it pre-flop. If you had 9400 in a util spot, is it Bradley Beal over Drummond snap call?
Bradley Beal over Drummond. That's debate.
You just said you're gonna have less than 10% of Drummond. How much are you gonna have of Bradley Beal?
5%.
How much?
Less than 5%, probably.
You're gonna have less than 5% of.
I got a strong core that we're gonna get to that I'm just building around tonight, and these guys, they're just not fitting in with them.
It's the Wizards and Cavs, dog.
No, I get it. It's just one of those things where I'm just in love with some of these other underpriced, mispriced guys, in some high totals too. So, where it seems it's weird, it's a Washington Wizards game where I should have more love, but hopefully people play the Cavs and they'll come through, and I can just avoid that situation. Washington's center situation is interesting. I mean, if Thomas Bryan is out, if Mahimi gets ruled out, weighing around 4,400, or even Hachimura 51, I think those guys could become elite value guys.
It says prior to the break, Thomas Bryant had a quote great reevaluation on his troublesome foot. Wizards likely want to see how he responds to practice before determining whether he'll play, and we should know more before game. He's dealing with a right foot stress reaction. Jan Mahimi, sore right foot, also questionable. And then, if either one of those guys are out, if both those guys out, we have seen Mo Wagner step up, be a point per minute beast, and maybe Rui Hachimura at the 5, some Davis Bertans, some Troy Brown Jr. I feel like they still have a lot of bodies. This isn't as much of a deficit as they had been dealing with. Davis Bertans, I got him down for 31 minutes in the soft projection at 5,500. Is that too many minutes? I have to come back in 30 minutes last game.
He's fine.
I feel this is really frustrating. Like I want this game, but it's just every guy I walk away with, I feel like I can shoot down. Chat. What do we got on this one? Ernesto says Hachimura. I like Sexton. I like Beal. Bravo tells it all. You have to like Sexton and Ish. Colin Sexton is 6,300. I could get down. I have played. He's probably the only guard I play from this team. I'm looking for a north side of 30 fantasy points. Definitely can get it. Starting to see some assists here and there from him. Ish Smith at 4.8K. Again, I need 30 fantasy points. Ish. You think so? Shabazz Napier has me shook.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, it could be. Washington gives up 206 points per game. You have to play some. They do not give up 206 points per game. That would be insane. This is a clear game stack. Come on, it is. It feels like it, right? Sexton FanDuel looks like 6x, which could be big this late. Agree like guns option on Hachimura at 27 minutes. Beal less than stat. Yeah, if we're talking about BVP, man, imagine if they gave up 206 points per game. That'd be nuts. Let's move on to the next game here. Pacers at the Knicks. Project starting five for the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon, Victor Oladipo, T.J. Warren, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner taking on Frank Ntilikina, R.J. Barrett, Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle, Taj Gibson. Extremely low total. One of the lowest totals that we'll see this week. Just 212. Again, I hate to start throwing away these early games here. I'll have more of the Cavs-Washington game than you will. But this game seems like another game that I just may not have much of. I will say Julius Randle, 8,100. I can easily get there, try to get that 40 fantasy points from him. But that's a point that I need, 40 fantasy points at 8,100. I like to pick on this Pacers front court. And on the Pacers side, man, Sabonis at 9.6K. How do you play that with a lot of comfort? You know, that's right up there in the Drummond territory, the Bradley Beal territory. Maybe on FanDuel at 7,700, you feel like there's a little bit more wiggle room, a little bit more of a bargain to have some upside. But, I mean, we're talking, you know, on a site where I probably need 40 plus on FanDuel. I need close to 60 on DraftKings. So that's definitely going to be a guy that's higher. I might have a tier 2 Sabonis on FanDuel, and I may not even have Sabonis on DraftKings. So those price points are that drastic, you know, a $2,000 gap. But elsewise, you know, Oladipo, 4,600 on FanDuel. It's the other side of the All-Star break. They said after the All-Star break, we should start slowly seeing Depot, you know, ramp up. Do we try and, you know, strike before, you know, he's completely off the chain? At 4,600 on FanDuel, I feel like I have a little bit more of a cushion if he underwhelmed for like 25 fantasy points. DraftKings at 6,400. There's not a giant crash pad. But on the DraftKings side, the Pacers team is all under 7K outside of Sabonis. So against the New York Knicks, several guys can easily pay off. But yeah, for the most part, this is another game that on a 9-game slate where we're really going to want to focus on the last game and, you know, maybe a couple of these other middling games. Not a lot of players here seem like they're going to be fundamental or foundational pieces to my player pool tonight. What are you doing with Pacers and Knicks?
And there's just two guys in this entire game that all have some of, and again, not core plays. Victor Oladipo's off a minutes limit. He's 6'4". This guy's going to be a 8K, maybe 9K guy really soon. So just get on him early. I know he hasn't looked that great, but it's
wait. You think he's going to be a 8K really, really soon? I don't know about that one, bro.
8K last year?
Last year when they didn't have Brogdon and Sabonis wasn't this big of a factor. Yeah, I don't think what we've seen so far is looking like that. He was more of like a point guard last year. This is, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I expect him to average, I mean, when he's fully healthy, 20 points, you know, 5 assists, 5 rebounds type of deal. I mean, at 6'4", I think there's some upside there. Again, not a core.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like, being off the chain, no minutes restriction, yeah. I'm a buyer. But so far, what we've seen hasn't been, you know, making me salivate. Maybe it's the defensive peripherals I want more of, the blocks and steals.
Yeah.
That's kind of, you know, been his MO is strong defense, and we haven't really had like those fake blocks and steals yet. A couple games with 2, but nothing like crazy. And maybe the Knicks are that team. Where are the Knicks at on turnover per play percentage? Let's pull this up in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. New York Knicks. They're about middle of the pack, 12.7% turnover per play percentage. So, yeah, maybe we'll get some steals coming. But at 4,600 on FanDuel, I'm way more interested than at 64. Continue.
Yeah, Julius Randle, he's in play. Again, not a core play blow at 8-1. A couple of Boston guys, similar price I like better. A couple other power forwards. Again, I mean, if you want to write this game off too, I'm with you. If you're running 20 lineups and you have nobody in this game, completely understand. Don't need it. Don't worry. We'll get the players we like.
The early games are just not great. At least pre-flop, right? At the end of the night when Ntilikina has 50, then whatever. But early games are just not great for me yet. See what the chat has on this one before we move on to the next one. Bravo says, I feel like I can make all my lineups with Cleveland, Washington, Boston, Minnesota. Wow, no Portland, no New Orleans. That's brave. Cleveland and Washington just seems too, like too many players. Like too many players. Washington, I'm on Bill. That's it. Cleveland, I can get. Like I can understand it if Drummond gets 50, if Love gets 40.
Boston, Minnesota, San Antonio, Utah. Like, there's some games out there which should be competitive.
Yeah.
High scoring games.
Matt Runyon says Oladipo 60 bomb. Not a chance he can't make a shot right now. Didn't I just see 70%? Yeah. Okay, just 7 shots though. Yeah, it'll come. But 60, I'm probably not expecting 60. Probably not expecting 60. I like DeRozan over D-Mitt against the Phil says Hunter. Josh Sennick says DSJ and played with Elfrid Payton out. Dennis Smith Jr., I got him out for 20. Maybe. What do I need? 25 plus fantasy points? Man, he got 6, 8. I don't know if I'm running to play Dennis Smith Jr., bro. Interesting, though. They get attacked the rim like Westbrook tonight. Depot? Yeah, I can see them second. Yeah, I mean, realistically, the Pacers have a chance to be a top 4 seed in the East and get some home court advantage for the first round. Right now, let's see, what are the Pacers? They are 32-23, and the 4 seed is 35. So they're 3 games back from a 4 seed to try and get that home court advantage. It's possible. Got that Heat game coming though. TJ Warren, I see you, boy. Anything else for this one, chat? These early games are boring. You guys are cool for reading the comments, man. Without you, there's no show. Kevin Porter not mentioned. I did mention, yeah, that's a good point, but I don't know how excited I'd be for Kevin Porter if they're all in. Like Kevin Porter, I liked that last game, but that's because Kevin Love was out. Right? If Kevin Love is in, and Drummond's in, and TT's in, and Nance is in, like, is Kevin Porter got a whole lot of wiggle room? Just looking back real quick, I got him at 27 minutes at almost 5K. I mean, that's plenty of opportunity against the Wizards to get you near 30, but I'm going to need someone to be out to feel excited. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on to the next game here. Business is starting to pick up, right? Jim Ross, where you at? Business is about to pick up. Raptors hosting the Suns. Now we're talking. We got 229 total here. Home team Raptors favored by 8. Project starting 5 for the Suns. Ricky Rubio, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Kelly Oubre Jr., DeAndre Ayton taking on Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Serge Ibaka. Starting with the Raptors side, this is an entire team that is in the conversation. Am I going to walk away with 3 Raptors in a lineup? No, but 4 Raptors will be in my player pool, right? I'll probably start everyone up at a tier. I'll probably start the whole starting 5 as a tier 3, or excuse me, 4 of the starting 5. I don't know if I get to Anunoby. But Lowry, do I have 40 plus fantasy point potential here? Yeah. Fred VanVleet, I like him a little bit more on FanDuel, but I could have some shares of him on DraftKings if he's going to get 37 plus minutes against the Phoenix Suns. Siakam, same song and dance. Can I get 40 out of him? 45. And then Ibaka, 6,500. Can I get 35, 40 out of him? I think all that is possible range of outcomes. I don't know. I'm not saying that they all do it and coexist, so I would be sparing them together, just fall where they fall. But they're all in play for me. The Sun side, Devin Booker's on the South side at 8K on DraftKings, 8,300 on FanDuel. That's a price point where I need that 40 plus. Obviously a tough matchup. A lot of minutes for Kelly Oubre coming his way. 6,700 on DraftKings, 6,400 on FanDuel. I think I like him a little bit more to kind of muscle for those extra peripherals. And then DeAndre Ayton, 9K on both sides. Like that is so hard for me to click today. Just put that in perspective. Like Whiteside's a couple hundred more against the Pelicans without Dame. I don't feel you're getting a bargain there. So Suns are a little bit harder to love pre-flop, but yeah, all the Raptors are in my mix. If I pull up the last 5 positions against the Raptors. Just kind of see what's gelling. I guess Jared Allen had a solid game against the Raptors last game. Karl-Anthony Towns dropped 50 in 37 minutes. So maybe when Ibaka is at the 5 and not Marc Gasol, you can get away with a little bit more. I'm still not in love with the matchup, but you can get away with a little bit more. But there's not really one weak spot for the Raptors. They're really, really solid overall defense. When we flip it around, though, just about any position against the Suns, I think, is justifiable. I think point guard has been the most consistent position against the Suns. So Kyle Lowry, 7,700, is that just too cheap?
I think it's one of these guys, like you said, tier 3, probably start him off. I think either Lowry or Ibaka are probably going to end up being a tier 1 or a high tier 2 for me. So, I mean, Lowry, it just seems like it should be a good 50 bomb year. Been hot, 50, 57 past 2 games. Dropped a 60 bomb, got a 37 in there. But at 7,700 against Phoenix, bottom 10 against point guards, I'll take that all day, every day. Serge Ibaka at $6,500 price tag. DeAndre Ayton loves to score, doesn't love to play a lot of defense. Give Serge Ibaka 35 minutes. I'm with that. Those are my top 2, and then shares of Siakam, VanVleet. Even OG Anunoby, 4.8. I think he'd be a sneaky value guy. Give you that, fake, not 50 bomb again, but a fake 40 bomb. Wouldn't be shocked here. So I think the whole starting 5, the Raptors are in play. I think Phoenix too. The Raptors have been in some shootouts the past 5 games, 1 down game. But other than that, they've been some shootouts against Minnesota, Indiana. So I can see Phoenix. A guy like Devon Booker, not going to see a lot of ownership. 7-9. Could he have a big game here? Give you a 50 if this game stays close. I think he has to give you a relatively big game here. Give me some Booker. Oubre plays a ton of minutes. Tougher matchup, but again, if this game ends up being a shootout, we've seen him have 50-point games, 6-7, great tournament play. And 8, the price tag's tough. If you can stomach it, a great tournament play, he's probably going to come in under 10% for sure. But I mean, I kind of just like this game. I'm not sure about full-on game stats just because of prices, but you definitely want pieces for both teams here in the pool.
Do you? For how the Raptors, yes. The Suns, though,
the Suns. I mean, if you're gonna have that much love for the Raptors, I think you got to have some Devon Booker and Kelly Oubre.
Maybe some, but I don't. You definitely want pieces from the Suns tonight. I don't know about that one, buddy. Right? I know McCollum's a conversation to be had, but 6,600, right? He's gonna take up all the shooting guard spots, right? So is Devin Booker $1,300 more? Is this guy a priority on the road in Toronto? Is that what we want? I don't know. I'm with the Suns.
I just think if I want to play all these Raptors, I need some Suns guys.
But that's the thing. I don't want to play all these Raptors in one lineup. I feel like a couple of them are going to get there, so I don't really care about the Suns in that regard. I don't think I have any Devin Booker tonight, zero.
I get it. The other plays, the Simmons is cheap value, Mitchell, DeRozan. No, I get it. I get why. There's a big 3 of Mitchell, DeRozan, and McCollum who we can just lock in. So
you mentioned shootouts, like other teams against the Raptors. There really has not been individual players against the Raptors.
Everyone just kind of scores. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm really low on the Suns here. But I could get I could understand if you came at me with people in the lineup, but I wouldn't definitely need Suns tonight. At least from where I sit. Chad, what do you guys got on this one before we move on? Earth to Air says Toronto and Boston stack. I like that one. Booker and Lowry for me outside consideration for Rubio. I like Lowry quite a bit. Grilled memes, 8 listeners injured. Yeah, all the centers, or there's a couple Suns, they're all expected to play, but Dario Saric, DeAndre Ayton, and I believe Aaron Baines are all expected to play. They all practiced on Wednesday, so should not be an issue there. Just Check Diallo will not play, right? Won't get minutes. Celtics at the Timberwolves. Minnesota. Next game on the docket. Project starting 5 for the Celtics. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, Daniel Tice. Taking on D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Josh Okogie, Juancho Hernan Gomez, and James Johnson. This is a team. Like, let me tell you what. Could you imagine in October? Would you ever expect this to be the starting five for the T-Wolves? Like, none of these guys were, other than Okaji, were on the team, bro. That's so insane to me.
Got bodies. Like, this is a deep team now of just like
It
guys
is,
who
but it's just like,
play basketball, who are pretty decent offensively. They
bro,
play defense. So,
if you play 2K and like you play franchise mode, and if you got like the
yeah.
last pick in the first round, this would be the team that you end up with. And even then, it might be worse than that. It's so insane to me. But they're only 7.5-point underdogs at home. The Celtics are going to be without Kemba Walker. So let's go pull up the Boston Celtics here, since we have a lot of sample size of Celtics without Kemba. And just kind of run usage rates. This T-Wolves team will be a pretty plus matchup just about every position. So let's put Hayward on. Let's put Tatum on. Let's put Marcus Smart on the court. And see what shakes out in terms of usage rates. We're going to use the free on-off court tool at RotoWire and see what we come up with. And we won't have any type of sample size for the Timberwolves. All I can say is D'Angelo Russell, we should anticipate him having the highest usage without Karl-Anthony Towns from context clues, right? Jason Tatum leads the Celtics in usage rate with Kemba Walker off the team. 27% usage rate, 1.4 fantasy point per minute on FanDuel, 1.3 on DraftKings. Big time opportunity for him. He's almost 8K on DraftKings. He's almost 9K on FanDuel. It's the T-Wolves, big time spot. Behind him, Jaylen Brown, almost a 25% usage rate, about a fantasy point per minute on both sides. Same with Gordon Hayward, and same with Marcus Smart. All four of these guys averaging just about a fantasy point per minute. Sans Tatum, who's at 1.4 and 1.3. So it really seems like all the Celtics are justifiable. Tatum's price point doesn't have me, feeling all warm and fuzzy on the inside. But Jaylen Brown sub 6K on DraftKings, I feel like that's definitely an attackable spot. And then Marcus Smart sub 6K. So outside of Tatum, all these guys seem like they're attainable. Gordon Hayward at 7K never feels great either. But all these guys are in the pool. Probably. Based on that, right? Would I tier 2 Tatum and then tier 3 Smart, Brown, Hayward, or is 3?
I made the mistake of not playing enough Tatum whenever Kemba's out. It's just his price tag's always in that 8K kind of range. I'm like, all right, I can escape it, but you just got to look at his past games: 56, 41, 44, 51, 62. He's on a tear right now. It just seems like he stepped up his game. So I'm gotta play him here. I'm gonna rank him number 1. Number 2 is definitely Jaylen Brown just because of his price. I think I like Gordon Hayward better from a raw points, but based on points per dollar, probably Jaylen Brown. But Gordon Hayward at 7K with no Kemba Walker takes some of those playmaking duties. I mean, assists 4, 6, 4, 7, 6. I think he becomes almost their de facto point guard because Marcus Smart isn't really a point guard.
What?
So I mean, I like him.
What are you talking about?
Like playmaking duties, like he's not a natural point guard.
Right,
more of a pass.
Right, sure.
A little bit more about.
I mean,
yeah.
I see. That's what I hate about you kids these days. He's more of a pass first. Back in my day, that made you a point guard.
Cute. That's cute. But yeah, I mean, last game Marcus Smart, the big game against the Clippers, 46 minutes. That game went 141, 133. Not expecting that again at 5'9". It's not the most comfortable click for me, but I mean, I think you got to have the 4 Celtics guys all in play. Even a guy like Daniel Theis, 4-7 against Minnesota, no Cat.
Yeah,
probably seeing Wisconsin.
His minutes have been like up higher than they have been. So
yeah, so I mean, if you get to 30, I'm with it. Minnesota side, you meet D'Angelo Russell, 8-6, tough matchup, but gonna have a ton of usage here. Should be fine. And the guy who I'm just in love with today is Hernan Gomez. I mean, he's just good. Last game, 18 shots. The offensive skill set's there. He's 4'7". I'm going to take a stand on Hernan Gomez. Probably my favorite under 5K guy, except for like the 3K value in Portland.
So in his 3 games with the Minnesota Timberwolves, Malik Beasley's logged a usage rate of 28.7% against the Hornets, 21.4% against the Raptors, and 28.8% against the Clippers. we've had 240 bombs there, and then one down game against the Raptors. If you made the case that D. Russ is the focal point of Marcus Smart defense, maybe Malik Beasley's the guy that's just chilling there that can give you that 30-plus minute performance and just kind of be a wild card in some lineups. Look at the amount of threes he's chucked. 13 and 14 3-point attempts against the Clippers and Charlotte. Boston really good at defending the perimeter, but just an idea of some... I feel like it can't just be D. Russ. Juancho Hernan Gomez is also intriguing to me. He doesn't have a high usage rate, but he's always been a fantasy point per minute type of guy. In that last game, Juancho, who got a big boost there with people out and him playing 38 minutes. He was just a point per minute. He was able to just be just that. Only shot 5 for 18. That's not what you want as a big against the Hornets, by the way. But most of those shots are from behind the arc. Again,
back 18 shots. Who else was out that game?
I know Cat was down. Let's see. Keelan Martin didn't play. Jalen Noel didn't play. Roko's on a different team, obviously. That's mainly it. That's all I got out right now is for that game. No Roko, no Bates, Diop, no Martin, no Noel. But yeah.
Johnson? What are you doing with him? Been playing the minutes.
I'm probably not playing James Johnson tonight. James Johnson played 12 minutes with Cat out, right? No, he didn't. He played. What did he play? 20 something.
Yeah, he played 32 minutes last game against Charlotte. 28 in Toronto.
What am I looking at?
He's a starting center.
I don't think I'm playing James Johnson. That's the Hornets, right? Hornets, great matchup. Clippers, I don't know. If you had to get there, I don't think you're out of your mind. But I don't think I'm not that ecstatic to play a lot of these T-Wolves. But I do think there's a lot of certainty. We talked about this is a whole new team, right? We have 3 games of sample. We probably have 1 game of sample size of this team. So I like attacking the unknown for tournaments, right? I think most people.
I think that's sneaky.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think most people think D. Russ and that's it, but Beasley's interesting to me just because of 2 games where he's had extremely high shot volume.
It reminded me of the Jordan Clarkson playing Utah.
Yeah. No one else I'm looking through the usage rates for this team the last 3 games. No other Naz Reid had a 28% usage rate against Toronto and a 42% against the Clippers. I don't think I'm going to play Naz Reid today, but how many minutes did he get without Cat? He got 22 minutes against Charlotte with 5 fouls. You think if he doesn't get 5 fouls, he can get, 26 to 28 minutes here, be a point per minute?
James Johnson isn't that tall. They might actually need to play Reid more minutes against decent cancer.
He only had 14 minutes against the Clippers and still almost had 30, dude. This dude stays out of foul trouble with Cat. One of these days he's going to have a big, big game.
Could this be the spot?
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one, buddy. Yeah, man. I feel like we're dumpster diving at the bottom here, but how much D'Angelo Russell?
It'd be a shootout. How much D'Angelo Russell? Might go with a 20%er.
8,600. I would love to have a shot at 50. You think 50 is a rate? I guess 2 games against Boston, he's averaging 32 and 26, so it's over a point per minute. His usage rate last game is 31.5%. I know it's just 2 games with the team, but 1 game without Cat. 30% is kind of my magic number. If he's going to sustain that type of usage, I'll take it. I'll take it. 20% tier 3 D-Russ. Okay. Okay. I think that's fair. Chat, what do you guys got on this one?
Main play of this game.
Huh?
Tatum is still the main play of this game, I'm assuming.
Tatum? Yeah. Hunter says, I'm with Raj here. Aiton against the field strong tournament. Kyle lucky to 6. Okay. Canner's under 4K. That's a good price. Gordon Hayward 50 bomb. Give me some of that. This guy. JoJo says 2 Celtics, 2 Wolves. Get you cash today. Who would your two Wolves be? Is it D-Russ and Beasley or D-Russ Wancho?
Wancho.
I got this Beasley feeling, man. I'm about to have.
Yeah, I do like the Beasley play just because that shooting guard I think goes really underwhelmed with all these other guards, and he can get you like a 40 bomb at 5'4". I do like that play. I'm probably gonna be. You convinced me to up my Beasley exposure for sure.
Gun, how much Boston you playing and who? Well, so mathematically, statistically, usage rate wise, Tatum's got to be my top go-to guy. We pulled up Jason Tatum's last 10 games without Kemba Walker. The last 4 games, 62, 45, 40, 50. I would accept all of those at his price point today. Obviously, the T-Wolves matchup isn't something I'm running from, so I'm with that. There are a couple games in there that I'm worried about, a couple sub-30s, but I imagine that, maybe there's caveats to that. The Boston game's a letdown. Atlanta game's a massive letdown. Kings is these aren't, it's not like these are bad matchups. He should have thrived in all that as well.
The last Atlanta game, he dropped 51. I think he stepped it up. I'm going
to have it. I'm just... Is he a tier 1 for you at 8K? Oh.
I think. Do I put him alongside the CJ McCollum?
I can't tier 1 a Celtic. I just can't, dog. I just can't.
Plus, 2 of them are out. If Jaylen Brown was out, I get it. Yeah, I hear you.
I'll have all the Celtics in my player pool. I just can't tier 1 these guys, bro. They're so freaking sporadic, man. They could all have a 22% usage rate, and then it's just okay. And it's not like I don't feel like I'm getting a smash deal at that price either. So I'm going to have them. I don't think I'm a tier 1 of them. Obviously, the tier 1s tonight are pretty self-explanatory. We'll get to CJ McCollum and guys like that. But yes, he would be probably the Celtic I have the most of just based on the information we have. 1.4 fantasy point per minute, 1.3 on DraftKings. If I give him 32, 33 minutes times 1.3, we're walking into 40 fantasy points. I got him now for 35 minutes at the moment, so gladly take that. Jojo says Beasley's a must. I'm with that. John Hector says I'm gonna use Malik, Wancho, and James Johnson over D-Russ. Am I just not? I don't know. Sometimes you take guys you never play, you put them on a new team. And I'm just still so used to not playing it. I'm not really that stoked for James Johnson, but I guess he is really cheap on DraftKings.
I'm going to have some of the Naz Reid and the 100K up top tournaments. I'm going to have some of him. Just looking at those fouls, it just seems like you said, there's a breakout game seems to be coming.
As long as Cat's out, I think that it's a range of outcome.
Cat out, it's definitely there, yeah.
Yeah. All right, next game on the docket. Nuggets at the Thunder. Project starting 5 for the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Torrey Craig, Jeremy Grant, Nikola Jokic taking on Chris Paul, SGA, Lugwins, Dort, Danilo, Gallinari, and Stone Cold, Steven Adams. He's going to get one board. What? We got 215.5 total. 1 point spread in favor of the home team, Oklahoma City Thunder. A lower total game, and so far these low total games haven't got a whole lot of love from us, but I can get behind some plays here. Jokic under 10K, I could definitely see a portion of that hit my player pool. We got Jeremy Grant, revenge game, 4,300. Can I get 25, 30 fantasy points from a guy I projected 30 minutes? I know Millsap's back in the mix. He has been coming off the bench. Will they change that now on the flip side of the All-Star break? Maybe. But I could get both those guys in the pool. And on the Thunder side, Chris Paul 7,200. I'm
gonna have some Chris Paul. If you need to stop disrespecting Chris Paul, 48, 49, 38.
Oh wait, whoa! I've been the Chris Paul fan club president. And now y'all want to... No. It don't work like that, bro. You ain't been playing Chris Paul, don't play Chris Paul. I love me some Chris Paul. I seem like I like Chris Paul better in tougher matchups where he's got to step up a little bit more, Nuggets have been a really good defense, particularly a guard defense when they're fully healthy. It is a road game, so do with that as you may. But plenty of guys that I could justify. The total is not something I love. The Thunder being favored here, it's just maybe the home court flip here. If this game's in Denver, I'm sure Denver's favored. But But SGA 6,400, he's right there at CJ McCollum price where you just don't get the SGA. But in a competitive ball game, does SGA play 37, 38 minutes and have to ball out and get you a shot at 40 fantasy points? I think that's possible. Last game against the Nuggets, he took 13 shots. Didn't really get much in the peripheral wise, only 24 fantasy points. But you paint a range of outcomes here. I think it's possible. Chris Paul, though, like you said, 7,200. I need the north side of 40 fantasy points. I love Chris Paul. I will say that the games that you mentioned are all really, really easy matchups. Detroit, San Antonio, Pelicans, all matchups that he should get that type of production. But in the one game against Denver, he did exceed the 40 fantasy point threshold. That's what you want at 7K. But how many times do you get $7,200 in your guard spot? How many times do you click in Chris Paul? I guess Lowry is. I thought Lowry was a little closer to 7K. He's closer to 8K. How many times do you play Chris Paul over Lowry in that area, though?
For raw points, I'll probably go a little bit, maybe like 25%, Lowry, probably 30% more of the time. But I mean, ownership, I'll probably have like 25 Lowry and maybe 15 Chris Paul, something along those lines. I just think Chris Paul, he missed the fourth quarter. I mean, you saw the clutch stats. He's doing his thing. He dropped 43 on him last time with only taking 8 shots. He's taking a few more shots now. I think he just, kind of stepped up his play, realizing, it's a playoff team. They can kind of compete being in the playoffs. Give me some Chris Paul. Give me some Gallinari. I think he at 6'2". In close games, when two good teams kind of go at it, maybe two good teams who play above average defense, it can just end up being a competitive game. When there's competitive games, you're going to see the full fourth quarter run for all these guys. Gallinari at 6,200. You want to go Chris Paul, Gallinari, bring it back with Jokic and Jamal Murray even with no Will Barton. Will Barton's doubtful today, I believe. Upgrade. He's an upgrade questionable for Friday's contest. Ooh, not what you want. All right, if Will Barton plays, no Jamal Murray. But if he doesn't, I mean, if you want to give me Jamal Murray, Jokic, Chris Paul, and Gallinari in your lineup in tournaments, I love that game stat.
Let's talk about Dennis Schroeder for a second. He's probably going to be the 6th man of the year, for being honest. He has sustained. I'll look at going back to January 31st. That's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games against New Orleans. In his 29 minutes, he had a 32.1% usage rate. Against San Antonio's almost 23%. Boston was
San Antonio when he got 18 DraftKings points.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Against Boston, a 28.6% usage. Against Detroit, a 31%. Against Cleveland, a 34%. Against Phoenix, a 31%. So my magic number is 30%, but he has had over a 28% usage rate in 5 of his last 6 games. Coming off the bench here is kind of the spark here. He got almost 35 fantasy points in 32 minutes against Denver last time. He's 5,600, man. I feel like there's enough going his way that I'm gonna have Schroeder. I probably obviously a tier 3 type of play, just because of the wide range of outcomes here. But I think there's
you want to get a real different in tournaments in the point guard, shooting guard slot. If you wanted to play Malik Beasley at that 5'2" range, Dennis Schroeder, Jordan Clarkson, and skip out on the CJ McCollums, Donovan Mitchells of the world who are going to be all uber chalked, and pay up for a couple bigs. There's a world where all those 5K, mid 5K guys all give you 40 DraftKings points, 40 fantasy points. And if your bigs, do amazing in tournaments, you just have huge leverage on the field.
Speaking of 30% usage rate, since he's come back, Jamal Murray has sustained a 30% usage rate, which has kind of impacted Jokic a little bit, not too much because Jokic is still up there, but Murray has got you just about 40 plus fantasy points since coming back. The Portland game was a down game, but he only played 20 minutes that game. Outside of that, we're seeing a lot of heavy minutes, a couple of overtime games here, Lakers, Utah. But a guy at 7,100, you could play him 1v1 Chris Paul, just take whoever scores more. I think there's at least a range of outcomes that Murray gets there.
Even Adams.
And then, let's get to Jokic real quick. Almost 9,800 for Jokic. Again, minutes for him, a little bit of a rest. A lot of people are glad that he got a week of rest after playing some really, really deep minutes for a long stretch without a lot of his teammates. A lot of big names, a lot of big games from him. He dropped 70 fantasy points against the Thunder in his last game. And if you look at that team DVP chart and RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet, the Thunder are about league average or less in terms of fantasy points to opposing players. And it's almost like a funnel defense type thing where they're really, really strong against guards and wings, but centers are where you can attack them. So Jokic at 9-8. I like that, and like you said, if you spend down a little bit more at the guard and wing position, there's plenty of money for Jokic. I'm curious to see where Jokic lands in terms of ownership, just because of all the hype that's on a couple of the late game stacks. And then you said Adams. You wanted to talk about Steven Adams?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's getting a little slept on. 5.5 price range. Should see 30 minutes. You dropped 40 on him last time. Coming off of 37-35, obviously better matchups, but
yeah,
okay, he's gonna have to be out there.
Yeah, I'm not running to Adams, but I'll never knock Aquaman. Chat, what do you guys do with this one? I feel like for 215 total, as much as we poo-pooed on a couple of the other 220 totals, like I'm more interested in this game than I should be.
I like this game more than the Cleveland-Washington game.
I don't know about that. I feel okay. Maybe it has more concentrated usage in minutes, so maybe that's why, right? Yeah. Okay. See what you guys got in the YouTube chat. Hector says I'm gonna use Malik Wancho, James Johnson. Okay, yep. Bro, so a flop at those prices at 30 minutes played is not likely. A flop. Okay, Wolves could flop though. Raj onto something. Raj is never onto something. He might be on something. Or on to something. All right, let's move on to the next game. San Antonio Spurs at the Utah Jazz. Project starting 5 for the Spurs. Dejounte Murray, Brent Forbes, DeMar DeRozan, Trey Lyles, LaMarcus Aldridge taking on Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Royce O'Neal, Bojan Bogdanovic, Rudy Gobert. We got 224 total, 7-point spread in favor of the home team, Utah Jazz. Mitch. So the story for the Jazz here: Mike Conley out. Obviously, going to put some more eyeballs on Donovan Mitchell, just about 7K on both sides. And then when Mike Conley's been out, Jordan Clarkson, who was traded to the team a couple weeks ago, has had some really, really strong performances. And, he's another 5K guard that you put him with the Malik Beasley, the Dennis Schroeder, like you said, he could outperform his salary expectation. 33, 46, 42 fantasy points his last 3 games. Very Jordan Clarkson-esque, where you need 20-plus real points. But against the San Antonio Spurs, it's a realistic range of outcomes. So I feel like you do get a somewhat high floor for the price point from Clarkson with a decent ceiling to boot. And a 7-point spread kind of leaves the door open for the for the potential blowout. Rudy Gobert, 8,200. So Gobert, I like that price point, right? How many times is Gobert not going to get me 40 fantasy points? 8,200 against San Antonio Spurs, 47 against Miami, just about 40 for against Dallas, and at Houston, not great. But I feel like there's a good chance 40 fantasy points is coming my way. I take that as a floor. I wish I loved the ceiling just a little bit more, but I'd live with that. Joe Ingles under 5K against the San Antonio Spurs, definitely a guy that can net 30-plus fantasy points. So Utah Jazz become very, very playable. I see a lot of Jazz in my player pool tonight. DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge, 6,800 and 7,100. Both guys, I think I could justify. I kind of dig.
That price is ridiculous.
For
DeRozan's
who?
a tier 1.
DeRozan is a tier 1 for you.
$800 price tag. I think he's an 8K guy. It just seems underpriced. I'm tier 1ing him. I'm right beside CJ McCollum. Both could be 60, 80 percenters.
Okay. I don't think it's cheap. I don't think it's crazy. Tier 1 seems a little up there, but yeah. I get it. So you think this game you don't think this game blows out? I'm not saying it should. I'm just asking. You think this game?
I think it'll be a competitive game. I think Donovan Mitchell, DeMar DeRozan, CJ McCollum, Simmons were kind of like the core 4 I'm going to build around today. Mitchell at 6'9". It's just without Mike Conley. Taking some point guard duties against San Antonio, good matchup. Just a core guy for me. So we'll have a ton of pieces of this game. In the Utah side, you can kind of just play everyone. You mentioned Jordan Clarkson. Joe Ingles 4-7. But I mean, 1 for 9, 21 fantasy points. 2 for 8, 28 fantasy points. He starts shooting well. Has a 5 for 10 game. Those 21, 28 fantasy points could turn into 35, 40 really quick.
Yeah.
That's 7, 8, 9 assists. So I mean, Joe Ingles, keep that in your back pocket for sure. He's gonna put it together. Even Bogdanovic at 6K. Taking the shots. I feel like he's good for 30 fantasy points. But you like a little more at 6K.
Yeah.
He's fine. Okay, with upside there. Rudy Gobert is the only starter on Utah that I'm not getting a ton of, just because of that center rolly 8-2. He's fine. He should be good for 40. 40 plus. Just not as in love with him.
Spurs give up a lot of points in the paint. I like that for Gobert. I will say the Utah Jazz kind of feel like the Western Conference Celtics when I'm looking at like usage charts. Like they're so evenly spread out across the board. Like there's not one guy that's like, oh, that guy can't miss. You can definitely see range of outcomes where Donovan Mitchell's an average play, and kind of the same for Gobert.
Clarkson having those boom games has been taking a little bit away from Mitchell whenever Conley's out.
Yeah, you can justify that. But yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't know if I tier 1 to Rosen, dog. He might land into tier 2 for me. He might.
What's Mitchell? Tier 3, 2?
Yeah, tier 3 for Mitchell. Tier 3 for Mitchell. It's not like we have a lot of sample size of Donovan Mitchell without Mike Conley this season. It's not
yeah, he should be better.
You always want to believe he's better, but
like 37, 35 minutes. I mean, what you want? We know how much point guard he's playing whenever Conley sits. Because assist numbers aren't that great.
Yeah, Joe Ingles is a lot. Like he has 2 games over 40 fantasy points in his last 10 without Mike Conley. So like he's gonna be in the pool, but it's not something like I'm going out of my way to log. And then we'll run that same thing with Rudy Gobert. Gobert, pretty good track record of getting to just about 40. Gobert has 1 game under 40 in his last 10 without Conley. So it's kind of the opposite of Donovan Mitchell. So Donovan Mitchell's not going to be like a must play.
Those are Donovan Mitchell points per dollar.
Who?
Those are Donovan Mitchell points per dollar. Those is 4-7 on 2K.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room on the Ingles price point to kind of absorb a blow.
Wow, since he scored over 30 fantasy points, but it hasn't been shooting that well.
Yeah, and then Jordan Clarkson. So in most of his games without Conley, he in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 of his last 5 games, he scored 28 or more fantasy points without Conley. I'd take 28 today. I don't know. Like I said, the Jazz are just kind of like the Celtics of the West, where they're all spread out. So I'm not gonna over prioritize any one of them. I could buy into the DeRozan. I'm also kind of intrigued with Aldridge.
Aldridge, the guy, yeah. Looking at coming off a back-to-back 50 bombs, DeRozan was hurt, but I mean, he should feast too. 28-10 is not the question.
Yeah, centers have done just fine against the Utah Jazz. I know Gobert's got that Defensive Player of the Year thing going his way, but man, last 5 centers against the Jazz: Adebayo 41, Porzingis 42, PJ Tucker, I don't really count him. And then Caleb Swanigan, not going to catch him. Jokic dropped 80. I'm fine with some shares of Aldridge. I wouldn't tier 1 of them like you did with DeRozan, but I think I can get to Aldridge and look for 40 plus fantasy points. Shot volume should be there, maybe 20 plus shot attempts. If this game stays close enough, I'm a buyer.
Playing those guys together, if they both can get you 40, 45 plus, or if they have a really good game and both get you 50 plus, you'll be in a great spot.
Looking at the live chat, Killa F89 says, what do you think of Naz Reid's value play? I actually kind of mentioned him during that game. I think he's a volatile value play, but if you look between the lines, his usage rate and his point per minute production has been really high. So if we can get to an opportunity for him to not get in foul trouble, and without Karl-Anthony Towns, if Naz Reid was able to muster 25 to 30 minutes without the fouls, 5 fouls against Charlotte. Definitely think there's a range of outcomes where he could get you 30+ fantasy points and be a great value play, but you are dealing with potential foul trouble. He had 5 fouls in 13 minutes against the Atlanta Hawks, so he's a very hack-happy type of guy, but the production's there from a point per minute standpoint. So tournament only, but I'm there. Donald said Raj sucks at tiers and hosting. What the F? What?
I give him blowjobs. No, bro.
Why is Raj tiering players? Nobody cares about your rankings. Yikes, bro. That's tough. Grilled Meme says, what do you think of...
They love other wives. It's okay. You're mad. Take it out on me, fellas. It's okay. I can teach you more about life.
I mean... If you don't care, why are you watching? Question mark? Maybe it's just me. I don't care about Raj. I don't know. I'll take it, though. Screw Raj. Go gun. Grilled Meme says, what do you think of Wagner if Mahinmi's out? So the report I read, I think, was expecting all of them to play. But if Mahinmi and Thomas Bryant were out, then Mo Wagner would be fun, I guess, to target in that matchup. He's another guy that gets in foul trouble that people don't really realize.
Hasn't he had like 2 50-point games today? Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah, Wagner's a big foul guy, by the way. So he's right there with Nas Reed on potentially screwing you guys if you overinvest in him. Hunter says no Murray again. Jamal Murray, maybe. Like I said, he's been sustaining that 30% usage rate since he came back. But the price point doesn't leave me a whole lot of wiggle room. And there's a couple games that overtime kind of really helped him be a great play. So I probably wouldn't prioritize him. And at this point, like if I was penciling, rough drafting my tiers, I might pencil him as a tier 3. And there's still a chance I don't even play him. Like, we're gonna talk about that Pelicans game, and that game's gonna have just a huge amount of my tier 1 and tier 2-age. Gifla says, not cool to say Rod sucks. Shout out for having the guts to stream. Shout out to Gunn for having the guts to put him on. I'm telling you, man, you got to have Skip Bayless. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know who Shannon Sharp is if he was streaming with a guy that agreed with everything, right? You got to have Skip Bayless for Shannon Sharp to be meme central. I don't know. No Deontay. Oh, Deontay Murray over Jamal Murray. So the Spurs are a pretty deep team. And especially when it comes to the guard situation, you never know. I mean, they got Patty Mills, they got Derek White, Brent Forbes, Lonnie Walker gets some run here and there. It's hard to really narrow down a lot of love past DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge for me. But Dejounte Murray against the Utah Jazz, I can't put him over 30 minutes, right? I got him at 27. I think that's fine. If he's a point per minute at that price point, even if he got to 30, I just don't really see a way that I would find a way to price. Like 5,400, that's Beasley, that's Shrewder. Who's the other guy we talked about at 5K? Jordan Clarkson. Like, I don't know that I get Murray over those 3 guys. So probably not for me. Teach us about life, Raj. Raj taught me about some nuts yesterday at the order. Dates, whatever.
I didn't know what dates was. I was like, what?
Don't compare UNC Sharp to Dumpster Fire, Rod. Yikes, bro.
UNC what?
I guess he's Skip Bayless. Anyway, next game on the docket, Memphis Grizzlies at the Los Angeles Lakers. Project 35 for the Grizzlies. Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Kyle, the Andersons got tickets to the game. How'd they get tickets? Jaren Jackson Jr., Jonas Valanciunas taking on LeBron James, Avery Bradley, Danny Green, Anthony Davis, Javal McGee. 11-point spread favor the home team Lakers. The Grizzlies, BTW, are on night 2 of a back-to-back, so they got that going for them. Last game against the Lakers, Ja Morant. I feel like he likes to play against these big-name guys, right? Ja Morant in 2 games against the Lakers, averaging 36 DKP. I feel like he just had a big game against the Lakers, though. Let me double-check that. Ja Morant, DKP by game log versus Lakers. We'll put 5 games. He only played it twice. One game, he had 47 in that last game, and that first game only played 25 minutes. So, definitely seems like John Morant has had a knack for playing up against competition. At 7K, you really want that 40 plus in tournaments. So there's really not a reason for me to over invest in Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson Jr. is under 6K. He obviously has a foul history, a foul problem. You put that against LeBron. You put that against Anthony Davis. I'm worried about that. Jonas Valanciunas went down in price. He's under 7K. It is a back-to-back, but they did just get off a week of rest, so maybe I can sell myself on that. But if we had some question marks about either one of them, hey, maybe Brandon Clark gets into the conversation at almost 5K. So hard for me to centralize any deep love for the Grizzlies overall. D'Anthony Melton just had a slate-breaking game last night. If you played him, congrats. But it's hard to really justify individual Grizzlies here. On the Lakers side, LeBron James 10.5. So if you look at the top of your DraftKings salary chart, it's Luka Doncic, it's LeBron James, and then it's two guys that are out, and Kat and Damian Lillard, and then there's AD. So it's gonna be pretty easy to play the 10.5K guy if you like him. How much do you like LeBron James, or even Anthony Davis, because AD would be part of the top 3 most expensive players.
I mean, isn't this AD? I want to say AD had a 70-point game against Memphis earlier this season.
Is that the game where he had 25 free throws or something?
I think so, yeah. It was with Memphis, I'm pretty sure.
You talked about Jackson foul trouble.
So give me some AD here, 9-9. I do think the Lakers kind of blow this game out. Memphis on a back-to-back. I just think the Lakers, coming off the All-Star break, I expect them to do well. Send Memphis a possible first-round matchup, a message. So give me AD, give me some LeBron, no other Lakers. Memphis side, not in love with John Morant. I mean, we talked about so many point guards. If he gets me 40 at play, you really want that 15 tournament, that 7K. I think the Lakers stepping it up in defense, so I'm probably just going to full fade the Memphis side here.
LeBron at AD, how much?
I'll probably have more AD than LeBron today. I just think he's going to feast down low. 30 and 20. 30% AD, 20 LeBron.
Do you have anyone at 50? What is? Do you have anyone over 50%?
I told you, the core four would be C.J. McCollum, DeMar DeRozan, Simmons, and Mitchell.
Simmons, who's that?
The Portland point guard at 3,500.
Oh, that seems like a trap, but okay.
I mean, against New Orleans, 3,500. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have it, but yeah, I guess over 50%. So it's like yesterday, everyone was on Shaq Harrison. I was like, what? Why is that? He had 18. I was like, I literally didn't have a single Shaq Harrison share on FanDuel, and he was almost 50%. I was like, sometimes these top value plays make no sense to me. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, LBJ and AD for me. The pace up spot for the Lakers is interesting for me to maybe it would be more interesting for some of these Laker punts, but I just don't think we need. We're not really restricted salary rise tonight, right? There's not a lot of people to pay up for, and the 7K, 4K, 5K, it's pretty easy to build a middling lineup here. So yeah. If you played LeBron and AD together, could we get 120 fantasy points? And would that be enough? Probably, right?
Kind of expecting AD to have a 60, 65 point game, and LeBron having a 50, 55-ish type of deal. Yeah, I just think, look, Leo, last game against Memphis, Carmelo Anthony got 15 rebounds against Memphis. So what's AD gonna do?
Get the F out of here. Was Whiteside playing that game? That's a little crazy. Man, wow. YouTube chat is just going in on you right now. I don't know what's happening. Morant looked terrible last night. Maybe he hit the rookie ball.
Prime time, baby. I'm reading this now. We prime time. Don't get it twisted.
Raj is an industry plant here to fill your heads with bad plays.
Oh, yeah. Those facts.
Morant had almost a 50-burger last game against the Lakers. Lakers have been struggling against point guards. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Morant does feel like a guy who plays up against the stars that he was idolizing 2 years ago. So maybe there's some incentive there. 7K, you really got to blow me out the water on a back-to-back in a tougher matchup. Lakers.
Yeah, I like at that point guard position. I like McCollum more, Mitchell more, Chris Paul more. There's a lot of really guys I just prefer over Morant.
I feel like I can make a case for Morant over Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell does not just put me in a trance like you guys. Every time Mike Conley's out, you know what I'm saying? Like we literally pulled up that game log. He has 240 pluses and 10 without Conley. Last time
He doesn't have as many 50 bombs as you'd like, for sure.
Yeah, but Morant's a guy that probably doesn't get extended minutes here. Dylan Brooks, a couple of lackluster games lately. Last night, the guys that people targeted for the Grizzlies just really didn't do what they expected. But Dylan Brooks is a guy that's still going to get, double-digit shot attempts. 2 games against the Lakers, he's taken 17 total shot attempts. It's just like really tough defense. So I'm not gonna. I may not have a Grizzly tonight. Like I have a thought for Morant, but I may not even end up with any Grizzlies tonight. And it would just be AD and LeBron if I do get there, right? We got one game left on the docket. Take a pause for the cause. Let you guys know that, 3:27? About 30 minutes, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. And we'll be chatting up, live voice chat up until lock, kicking it with the homies, talking some plays, making my player pool. If you guys are curious to see where I land on either side, I dress up my DraftKings player pools, my tier 1s, 2s, 3s, my favorite value plays, and the same song and dance for FanDuel. So you don't have to copy me, you don't have to do what I do, but if you wanted to get ideas from me, kind of see where I'm at versus guys that you're at, you can easily do so. And then I will also have, I sweep my projections probably about 4 times up until lock, depending on how much news drops, and you guys can see my personal projections for each site. DraftKings, FanDuel, we have Yahoo Projections. Yahoo had a contest with no rake yesterday that was only about 80% full. So there is some plus EV contests out there from Yahoo. I haven't looked at their lobby today, but we do have Yahoo Projections, and then of course SuperDraft projections. So there are other supported sites here. So if you guys want to get in on that, come check it out at RunDFS.com. Try a week pass. This is what is it? Friday? Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. The last day to lock in for the All-Star break pass, the All-Star to All-Star break, which will get you locked in until the MLB All-Star break in July. And that'll get you the rest of NBA, a big chunk of NASCAR in the first half of baseball. So if you guys want to be part of that, lock in at a cool bulk rate. Go to RunDFS.com, make yourself an account, click VIP passes. Right now we have 4 options: week, 2-week, month, and All-Star to All-Star break. Once you get locked in, go to forums, click VIP threads, and there'll be a link to the Discord with the invite to our server, and then of course links to the pertinent spreadsheets and all that. So I'd love to see you. Love to see you there. You don't have to grab a mic. You don't have to talk on your first day if you're shy. I get it. But you can listen in and type in chat. We'll be nice to you. Vote them up. Oh, yeah, what are we doing on the likes here? We're at, 78 viewers, 19 likes. Yo, can we get 40 likes? Can I get 21 thumbs up on the YouTube video real quick? Just real quick. I would show some love, and I would appreciate it. Main event tonight, Pelicans at the Blazers. Project 35 for the Pelicans. Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Derek Favors take it on Anthony Simons, CJ McCollum, Trevor Ariza, Carmelo Anthony, Hassan Whiteside. 239 total, a 5.5 point spread in favor of the home team, favor of the visiting New Orleans Pelicans. No Dame Dollar, which, man, Pelicans on the road, the big favorites here. Blazers have been pretty upsetting, I think, for the most part this season. So it all kind of makes sense. Pelicans somewhat healthy outside of Kenrich Williams. Look at these price points. 7K for Lonzo on DraftKings, 7.3 for Drew, 6.8 for Brandon Ingram, 8K for Zion, and 4.9 for Derek Favors. Yeah, Ingram is
It's
really, really cheap on DraftKings. And it's kind of a flip flop thing where Ingram's more expensive than Zion on FanDuel, and then vice versa on DraftKings. So I think the Pelicans are all playable, but this is kind of like a Raptor spot where I think everyone's priced at the right point, and I don't think the whole ship swims. You know what I'm saying? I think there's going to be a couple guys that are average at their price point. But it makes a lot of sense. On the Blazers side, we got some investigating to do. We know historically C.J. McCollum is the primary benefactor in the absence of Damian Lillard. But we also know this. Drew Holiday has always basically shut down Damian Lillard. Is there a range of outcomes where he takes that same energy? Huh?
That's the thing. Drew Holiday shutting down C.J. McCollum?
No, shutting down Dame Lillard. But now that Lillard's out, would Drew Holiday just kind of carry that same energy over there for C.J. McCollum, you know? Let's pull up the Blazers here and take... What do you mean that's a thing? Do you watch basketball? Just real quick. Damian Lillard, DKP by game log versus Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday basically eliminated the Blazers, dog, from the playoffs. For fantasy, Lillard has had one game over 45 fantasy points against the Pelicans, and that was a 70 bomb in 42 minutes. But past that, 20, 18, 24 points, 26 points. I don't know how many of that. Look at them. Half of those are on free throws. So Drew Holiday has had an incredible history against Damian Lillard. So just playing devil's advocate in the back of my mind, does he keep that same energy for McCollum? I'm not going to overthink that because McCollum's way too cheap. But yeah, let's go pull up the Blazers here. Let's take Damian Lillard off the court. Let's put McCollum on the court and work from there. Actually, let's put McCollum and Whiteside on the court and work from there. I guess you can say Melo. Hopefully there's like guys like Rodney Hood and stuff like that won't mess things up too badly from a sample size standpoint. I just didn't feel like clicking all their names. So 30% usage rate on CJ McCollum. He's averaging 1.2 FanDuel points per minute, 1.3 DraftKings point per minute. Melo, also 30% usage rate. However, averaging just about half a FanDuel point per minute and 0.7 DraftKings point per minute. Whiteside is at 1.5 FanDuel point per minute. Same with DraftKings. Usage rate is only at 17.5%, but in 85 minutes has been sustaining an incredible point per minute production. He's 9,200 on DraftKings, 8,500 on FanDuel. It is a faster paced matchup. If he can keep his hands to himself, this should be a matchup where there'll be plenty of shots to go around and plenty of rebounds to scoop up. Could Whiteside have a 20-20 game here? A couple blocks to boot. Definitely bodes well for him. I put him at 33 projected minutes. That spit back just about 45 fantasy points on DraftKings, 46.5 on FanDuel point, and that's a conservative algorithm. On FanDuel, he's 8,500. Seems way easier to justify that. And on DraftKings, he's 9,200. How many times? I feel like Whiteside's still like a consensus favorite center play. But how many times AD, Jokic, Whiteside in the 9K area? Is Whiteside...
I think Whiteside's going to have like 5 or 6 blocks, or he's going to have 5 or 6 fouls because Zion's just going to be banging down low. All his points come in the paint. It's going to be one way or the other.
Yeah, all his points? He chucks threes. A couple threes. Game log, let's see, without Damian Lillard, last 10 games. Let's just do a couple of stat muses here. Look at the last 10 games for some of these Blazers without Lillard. Whiteside has not scored over 40 fantasy points in his last 10 games without Damian Lillard. Now, there's not a whole lot of games this season without Lillard, so a lot of this is going back to... Matter of fact, it's only one game this season. All right, never mind. And then C.J. McCollum. Pull him up. C.J. McCollum, 68, 42, 61. So I think, like I said, McCollum is at that price point, right? There's just, like, there's not even a discussion. It's
and Simmons, too. I mean, starting point guard, 3,500.
Yeah. On DraftKings, yeah. FanDuel at 5K, there's more of an argument.
FanDuel did right. They priced him up a little. I mean, he should be priced up. They had the news. They didn't adjust. Well, Anthony's 5-3 on DK. He's kind of struggled the last few games, but if you saw me last game, 15 rebounds, 5 points. Game before that, 18 points, 1 rebound. Before that, he had 15 points, 6 rebounds. So, I mean, he just has to kind of put it together here, get it all clicking. This could be the spot at 5-3. That 15 rebound game, he gets you 15 points like he should. That's a 40 fantasy point game here. So give me Carmelo Anthony, give me CJ McCollum tier 1.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say he should get you 15 rebounds? Is that what you just said?
Memphis, he got 15 rebounds against Memphis.
Okay, but come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I'm not expecting that again. I'm just saying if he gets 15 real life points in that game along with that, the box score would show 40
15 point. Okay, I thought you just said that you should expect 15 rebounds from Carmelo Anthony. I was about to reach through here and slap you. Yeah, 5,300 for Melo is too cheap. I'd play that.
And New Orleans side, I'm gonna rank them. I'm going Brandon Ingram 1 on DK just because of the price. Going Drew Holiday 2. I'm going. I think Zion 4th. He's 8-1, or he's 8K. Sorry. Coming off good games, 40, 50 fantasy points. Dropped 50 against Portland, but that was no Ingram. Ingram coming back, I think he definitely takes a hit when it comes to the points category for sure. Yes, I haven't ranked as my 4th Pelican right now. Could be a problem.
Is there a range of outcome where any Pelican doesn't get 7x value?
I see that. I mean, I can see a world where, Ingram gets you 35 DraftKings points. Zion gets you, 37, 38. Drew gets you that same ballpark. I see all these guys just kind of hitting cash value.
That's what I'm worried about. I love them all, and they're I'm treating them like the Raptors, right? Where they're all tier 3 for me, exposure-wise. Ingram's Ingram, right? 6,800. I guess I get it. I just
That's some round games with Zion back. He's had some of those mid-20 bombs, right? The 25, 26 type of game.
So I'm going to the on-off court tool. I put